That's an equitable lien claim. It's not a 713 construction lien claim of lien. It's not a statutory claim of lien. It's an equity. You've been defrauded. I used that probably successfully only once, and that was when an owner had back-charged a credit card payment outside of the 90 days, and then the results came on the 200th day that they refused to give back the money, and I was just too scared to do a claim of lien, a statutory claim of lien, and I just filed for an equitable claim of lien, saying that we've been defrauded. There was no way for us to have protected our lien rights, and the judge gave it to us. And that's a reported decision as well. That's the only one that I know that deals with credit cards that are disputed outside of the 90 days. I mean, could I have gotten a claim of lien? I bet you I probably could have, but I just didn't want to take the chance. Next page. We spoke about most of these. The only thing that I want to tell you is that the 713.08 talks about how the claim of lien is required to be served on the owner within 15 days of recording. Why did I tell you before? You may want to hold on to it because there really isn't truly real teeth if you don't do it. Okay? It says that to the extent that the owner has been prejudiced by the failure to receive the claim of lien, then that may invalidate the lien. In construction seminars and meetings with other construction attorneys, not one of us has ever been able to figure out how an owner would be able to prove prejudice by not having received the claim of lien. We have no idea. So I'm saying the law requires that you do it within 15 days of recording. If you don't do it, I really don't know how the owner would be able to prove that they've been prejudiced by not receiving it. I mean, how are you going to say that I've been prejudiced by not receiving the claim of lien? You had the notice to owner, or you were in direct contract, you knew it was owed. None of us know how that would ever affect it. Okay. Next page. Again, I just show you a little cartoon, little play on Frank Lloyd Wright. Shows a cartoon of an architect that built the house upside down, and they call that Frank Lloyd wrong. Funny thing is, I actually recently got an email. I don't know if anybody else received this. On if you actually Google upside down a house, you'll see that there actually was in Germany a house that was built upside down. The entire house is built upside down. But they did it on purpose. I mean, it looks like a Ripley's Believe It or Not house. But it's circulating pretty recently, for the past month or so. So here, now remember we talked about you have to record it within 90 days? Well, we're going to identify the last work. These are items that will not extend your 90-day period, but people think they do. I bust contractors on this all the time. And the only way I find out about this is because I take their deposition and I find out, hey, when you put that January 1st date as being your last day of work, tell me what you're doing. All right, give me a copy of all of your time sheets, your tally sheets, your invoices, your pay requests, your letters, your correspondence. I had one contractor, and this was like, I mean, I never get the smoking gun, but this was like as if some law professor wrote this question, and this was the smoking gun. And I had a contractor put in their claim of lien, their last day of work was, who cares, January 1st? But I found a fax to the owner saying exactly this in bold-face print. Congratulations, we finally finished. About a month earlier. They lied. They lied right in their claim of lien. Their claim of lien was thrown out. Now, that had to go to, I don't know why the judge didn't grant me summary judgment on that issue right there. No, actually, yeah, I filed a motion for summary judgment based on that. The opposing attorney dropped the lien claim the day before the hearing. So, make sure that when you say the last day, it actually is the last day, okay? Because you're going to have mud on your face. And attorney's fees to pay. Number one, what does not extend that last day? Let's assume that January 1st you go out there and you find out the reason why you're out there is because you're doing repair work to work that you've already done. That does not extend your 90 days. Merely fixing the work that you can't charge for, that you've already done before, that is not lienable. Now, it's kind of hairy, but you don't want to be in that position. How do you avoid being in that position? You lien earlier rather than later. Because like you said, you're getting down to that 7-day time frame. The closer you get, I'm looking to see if I can squeeze 20 days out of you to get you to admit whatever you did during that last 20 days. Let's assume you lien right now and you got 20 days left. I'm looking to find out whether or not that day was really your last day. Warranty work, this is almost like repair work. If you're just fixing stuff as opposed to doing new work, then it's not lien, then that will not extend your last day. Punch list work, things that are too small, de minimis. For instance, the contractor that goes in there and starts squaring up the face plates on the electrical outlets, or doing things once again that really can't be charged for, is not going to extend your last day. Work delivery of materials following substantial completion. That's one that's there, but I mean, usually that's an argument that's made by the lawyers as to whether or not it should extend the time frame. So in other words, if you substantially completed the project and you're still doing work after that, then there's a question as to whether or not that may extend the time frame. The point being, once again, record your claim of lien sooner rather than later. Next one, work or delivery of materials following a long absence from the project site. I get contractors all the time, and they're like, listen, I haven't been there for forever. Can I go out there now? And just so I can go ahead and rescue my lien rights? Well, really you can. If you've been gone for a long period of time, you may not be able to extend those lien rights. I mean, that's a little bit harder to wind up finding out, but if it's been well documented that you haven't been there for a long extended period of time, it may be a possibility. And here's a famous one. People think that just because they went out there and met with the inspector out at the project, that is the last day that you furnished any labor, services, or material to the project. No, you didn't. You went out there and you met the inspector. Okay, so the inspector said, hey, you need to go ahead and twist this and crank that and pull this. All right, well, still, then you may just be deemed to be doing repair work. So watch your time frames, because these are going to be questions that I, as the attorney or somebody else who's savvy on the other side, was going to be asking you about. Hey, was this really your last day? Next page, number 9. Deadlines for filing suit, or you will lose your rights. First one. Final contractor's affidavits must be served 5 days prior to filing a lawsuit. Now, these only apply to those contractors in direct contract with the owner. As a subcontractor, you're not required to serve a final contractor's affidavit. Only contractors in direct contract with the owner. Again, that final contractor's affidavit merely says that here's what I'm asking for as my last payment, and these are all the people under me who remain unpaid. So let's say as owner, the owner sees that Southeast is listed, the welder, the nursery, and a bunch of others that remain unpaid. Then I, as owner, would be issuing a joint check to the general and to the nursery, the general and the welder, and I would be making sure that everybody gets